this library bite on how to determine where a website comes from. This is useful when trying to work out whether a website is trustworthy. For instance, here's a website I've found about 50 interesting recycling facts. Now, as I looked through it, it seemed to have lots of information about the problems with recycling, the solutions around it, and some of the statistics about how much recycling there is. However, what I don't know is actually where it comes from. So in order to find this, sometimes the location of where the site was created is evident by looking at the information at the bottom of the homepage, or even this website. Sometimes the country is mentioned in certain sections. So the first ones I'd have a look at are down the bottom, the About Us section. I'd have a look there. In this case, there isn't a lot about where it's from. However, if I have a look at the Contact Us section, I can see that this is actually from the US. This is in fact from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. However, sometimes websites do not have this information, so we need to rely on a different way to find it. That is where we can look at this thing at the top of the screen, the URL. The URL means Universal Resource Locator, which means it's designed to tell us exactly where this website comes from. This is also known as the website address, and this can be broken into different components. All website URLs do have a few common features. If I double click on this URL, I can see that it begins with www, which means World Wide Web. This appears on most website addresses, but isn't overly useful in revealing where a website comes from, so we can ignore this element. Next comes the domain name. This appears after the first dot. In simple terms, it tells us the name of the website. From there, we are interested in all the information up until the first /. These are called domain extensions, and these are important in revealing where this website has originated from. We'll be looking at some of the most common domain extensions. One of the most common domain extensions is this, the .com. Lots of people think that this means company or community, but this actually means commercial. This means that the website has a commercial element involved. For instance, it could be trying to make money from selling a product or from advertising around the page. This website, for instance, has a lot of those components. While it might be about Viking history, facts or myths, I can see around the page that there are lots of advertisements to different products, links to different websites. So what it's really trying to do is sell me something while I'm browsing this page. .com just doesn't have to be selling you something though. It could also be a website hosting service, meaning that people have paid to have this website published through their servers. Another domain extension is .edu. So .edu means an educational site. This, however, does not make it automatically trustworthy. We still need to check out the information to make sure this is true. Another common domain extension is .org. .org means an organisation. It is most commonly used for non-profit organisations such as World Wildlife Fund or the United Nations. It can also sometimes be used for websites that aren't necessarily for profit, but that provide the public with free information and resources, just like this one, the Adelaide Koala and Wildlife Hospital. Sometimes a website will have this domain extension, .gov. .gov means government. This is something produced by a government organisation, but we need to investigate further to find out which country or even state this information comes from. Another subdomain is the country code, which tells us where the website is created. You can see from this example that this one has a .au, which means Australia. In this example, you can see that the website is from an organisation originating from Australia. There are many others out there, with country codes ranging from .uk for the United Kingdom, .jp for Japan, and even .al from Albania. This other website has the country code .dk. This means that the website originates from Denmark. As Vikings originate from the Scandinavian area, finding a website from Denmark might be a clue that this website could contain good quality information for my assignment.